What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Low Spec Labs. I talked about this a few days ago, but I figured a long-form discussion would definitely be worth it to talk about Netflix's purchase of Warner Brothers, right? So according to the BBC article I read, Netflix has finally entered agreements with Warner Brothers in order to purchase the media company. They beat out other competitors like Paramount and Sky in order for them to get this deal. With this acquisition, Netflix is going to be getting access to series like the Harry Potter series, as well as Game of Thrones and other HBO special shows. So as far as Netflix is concerned, this is a big deal. Netflix shall become the new HBO, or I think if I was Netflix, I would keep the HBO brand as a subdivision of Netflix. I'd be like, HBO, a Netflix company. That way you still have the prestige and the brand name of HBO by itself. However, not everybody is happy with this deal. You know, Netflix is happy to acquire a lot of different IPs, but the customers are concerned, the Writers Guild is concerned, and government agencies might also be concerned about this deal as well. Netflix has agreed to purchase Warner Brothers for the grand total price of $72 billion in equity. This includes cash and stock options. Netflix is obviously gonna have to take out some loans in order to follow through with this deal. Most major companies do not have $72 billion sitting around. I would say unless you're a major government, you probably don't have $72 billion laying around. With this purchase, Netflix is going to gain access to the Warner Brothers media libraries. So that includes Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, DC Universe. I'm pretty sure the Looney Tunes or WB, if I recall correctly. Someone correct me if I misspoke there. While this deal is going on, current Warner Brothers films in production will continue production, and films scheduled to be released will be released. But before this deal can go through, Netflix has several hurdles. A couple days after the Netflix deal was announced, Paramount Sky Studios announced its intention to do a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers with a $108 billion cash offer. Paramount is appealing not to the leadership of Warner Brothers, but rather to the Warner Brothers stockholders themselves, giving them the option to directly cash out of Warner Brothers in order to give Paramount ownership of Warner Brothers IP. I would say the only thing worse than Netflix owning Warner Brothers would be Paramount owning Warner Brothers, right? Since then, President Trump has publicly flagged concerns about the merger as well, and complicating things even more than the sitting president being friends with the head of Paramount trying to stop the Netflix deal. There's also a class action lawsuit being filed against the deal as well, with people claiming that Netflix owning HBO would reduce the amount of media competition that we currently have. Something to keep in mind with this deal as well is the fact that Warner Brothers is not selling its news and TV stations. It's just selling the rights to its IPs to Netflix. So stuff like CNN, HGTV, and the Food Network will be split off into a separate company called Discovery Global in order for Warner Brothers to continue operations with those channels. This entire thing seems pretty complicated, you know. I would love to hear your opinions on it. I personally, if I had to choose between Netflix and Paramount owning Warner Brothers, I'd rather go with Netflix. They're doing what major large companies do, which is trying to extract a dollar out of you, but they're not as bad about it at this current moment as Paramount. I would prefer if companies stay their own individual things in order for them to compete with each other and to keep prices low, but not everything that we prefer tends to happen in life. Are you okay with Netflix purchasing Paramount? If so, leave an opinion down below. If not, also leave your opinion down below. I'd love to hear it, all right? Do you think Netflix purchasing Paramount is gonna cause prices of Netflix to go up? Netflix prices have already been going up, and now there are tiers of Netflix where you pay the money, but you still have to see ads inside of the service, which I feel like defeats the purpose of paying the money. But who knows? All right, boys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little discussion here. All right, try to keep things short and sweet for you because there's not really much I could gather about this. It's still happening and still developing, but I'll keep you updated as time goes on. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to like and subscribe. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Stay blessed. I'll see y'all next video.